In this unit, we'll be creating watercolor self-portraits. Watercolor is a really cool medium to create portraits in. The impressionistic quality of it leads itself to a sort of snapshot-like quality. Also, with the lack of defined lines, there's a real ethereal, whimsical effect. And if we continue our warm highlights and cool shadows, it can really help with the creation of mood. I'm going to be showing you guys a couple of apps that you can use to create reference images for this project. I might be moving kind of quickly, so feel free at any point to pause or go back to the video if you need. Most of all, just remember to have fun, and like a lot of things this semester, it'll be self-directed, and you can use your own kind of style and ideas. The first app that we're going to be looking at is called Deep Art Effects. After you've chosen your photo, you'll open it in this app. Deep Art Effects has different filters that make your image look more painterly. So here I'm just messing around with a couple of them. It takes a while because it's a cheap free app. So this first one, I know this is not what I'm going for. I want something that really has like increased shadows and highlights to give me the effect of more 3D form. This one has nice highlights, but not much shadow. And if you click on the image, you can lower the quality of the filter to mess around with it, or the effect of the filter. You want something that almost looks like a watercolor painting to begin with. So feel free to try out different filters and see what works for you. This is not good. I look like a zombie and I have a weird texture on my neck. Starting to get more shadows, but still not there. So I think I end up going with Modern Art 2. Yeah, I like this one. Good highlights, good shadows. I'll go full strength on the effect. Not the color that I want, but I'm going to use a different app to edit that. So you can click the little save icon and then go down to Other and scroll down to Save Image. Okay, so next I'm going to use Pixlr to edit the color. Choose your image, and then you'll use this little icon to get to the main screen. And there are all these different things, but we're just going to go through a couple today. Feel free to mess around with them on your own, though. So click Adjustment. And then we'll scroll down and back to Hue. And this will allow me to change the colors. I'm going for a more warm color scheme. You can use whatever colors you want. I might mess around with the saturation, the warmth and coolness, and then the saturation, and then mess around with the hue again. So I like that, nice little pops of color. It's still a little bit gray overall, so I might add a filter. So if you go to this little magic wand, you can mess around with these different filters to further edit your image. So look around, feel free to scroll at the bottom tab too. But I like the way that this looks overall. And remember, it doesn't have to be perfect, it's just a reference image, so you can edit from here when you're drawing. Now I'm going to go to double exposure. This step is optional, but it's helpful to me. I'm going to overlay a grid over the image. So you can just pick a grid image, you have to save that first, obviously. Spread it out to be the size that you want. And then down at the bottom, you can choose the way that the overlay looks. So I think I like the hard light option. And here's my finished edited reference image. Make sure to save. So this gives me a lot to work with. Highlights, shadows, a grid. And then remember, Deep Artifacts, this is the app in the App Store. And also Pixlr, photos and collages. So happy editing, and email me if you have any questions.